yesterday I tried to create a scene for Skyrim, didn't work, and I figured out why. I had Caden back help me out today. I had no way to start the scene. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go into game. I don't know if anybody's here. I'm going to go in game, run the scene off real quick. Come on. Yep. So what I did was I made a custom follower on his own framework, following Joseph Russell's tutorial. He's pretty much, he's voiced. I got a bunch of shit into him. But I want to set up some scenes. So first of all, I have to disable this guy or he's gonna fucking just kill my ears. Bye-bye. Okay. Here he is. So the scene I set up is going to be between Fresh and Delphine. And what's going to happen, you'll see, he has to be my there goes a fired.
You look amazing as always.
Hello again, Jay. Thank you for that.
Would you like to?
Not again. See you later, Jay.
You're a loss.
I never lose.
What falls up her ass?
So there you have it. Simple scene. So I'm going to show you how I set that up now. I'll switch over to CK screen. And I'm going to load up CK. And what I'm going to do is I'll show you my setup for that one, and then I will create a new scene, voice it, use the xVASynth program to voice the other character and such. I think I'm going to use Embry since he's already there. And I have the drunk voice for VASynth, so just gonna load up CK real quick. I don't know if anybody's here, but I'd like to see something in the chat. Holla at me. See what happens, right? Get 2 likes. I don't know. Alright, so we're loaded up in CK. So I'm going to show you how I got this running. Okay, I'm going to hit show active forms. So here's my dialogue for my follower. It's set in its own quest. And this is set up exactly how Joseph Russell's is. So if you follow his tutorial, you'll have this fully set up. Right now I got 17 lines of dialogue for him. Bunch of these kind of things, and there's no scenes. You can see the alias is just him. It's a unique actor, nothing special there. This is strictly for his follower situations. But what I went ahead and did was I snuck my starting point for all my scenes into his follow dialogue. So what'll happen is when I go up to him, say, hey, follow me, and he becomes my follower, not only is it going to set my follower to my follower, it's going to set the stage for the scenes quest to 0. So that's what I was forgetting. I was simply just forgetting to run the quest for my scenes. So in the scenes quest, obviously you can see what I have here. Nothing special. It's not start game enabled. You can allow it repeated. Nothing really matters here, except for these checks. But I don't want start game enabled because I'm starting it through another thing, so that'll work out. And what I did was, again, I had forgot, you must have something here with a startup stage in order for this quest to run, period. If you have nothing here, this will never start. Scenes will never fire. Nothing in here will fire because you simply haven't started the quest. So in some situations, you're going to have other indexes with stages that are set and yada yada, and journal entries and whatnot. You don't need that here. You simply just need a startup stage with a 0. Empty dialogue here, doesn't matter. That's it. Okay? No objectives. And first thing I kind of did when I started was created the aliases. So jeez. Okay, so I'm continuing on. My first alias is for my follower. You can name it however you like, really. Another thing is allow reserved. So if your quest is start game enabled, it will not give you the option on your aliases to allow reserved. So that's the reason for me not making an SEQ file. I want to allow reserved, stores text, uses stored text because I have voice files. I want to allow reuse in the scenes because I'm going to use them again, and optional, so it'll fill and clear the alias as needed. Unique actors set to my follower. And now with Delphine's reference, basically the same thing, same checks. I made voice files and stuff, so, and I want to make another scene after with her. Unique actor is Delphine, nothing else, guys. And so what I did was, here's our scene, okay? So at the very beginning of the scene, sorry, yeah, we can start here. Beginning of the scene, I set up a package. Package simply says that Fresh will walk over to Delphine and stay within a radius of 250. Second thing he'll do is he'll say his first line as she's walking up to him, right? She says her line, he says his, so on and so forth, until they get to this line. That package ends. So at this point, Delphine's gonna just back to her original sandbox, but she'll run off this line, and J Fresh is gonna turn and walk to the player because that's what this action sets. So I set it to place to travel. It's a travel package, and 250 to the player. So you can set up whatever. He can sit after. He can go to bed. He you know, whatever. He can use an idle marker. He can set up something to where he goes and bangs his head on the wall or something crazy. And then I've got it set up to where they're facing each other. See, the actor saying this is Fresh, and he's facing Delphine while he's saying it, okay? At the end, if you noticed, he turns and faces the player. So that last line, when he says the last line, I set it to head track player for Fresh. So he'll look at me and say that last line, like he did. So basically what I had screwed up was the start stage yesterday. I never had a start stage, so there was nothing. The way I am firing off this scene to start, because you have to have a way to start the scene as well, I set up some miscellaneous dialogue for Delphine. So what I did was I added a line, and as soon as you put get his ID Delphine, it'll give the options for only her voice here. So I went and recorded the voice file. It's in the folder, yada yada. You want to set it to goodbye because it's an idle, so it's just going to run once, and she's going to say goodbye and go to the next action, which I'll explain that in a minute. You only want this voice file to this idle for Delphine to go off when Delphine, the subject, is in the current location, the sleeping giant Inn, and I set it as alias to Fresh in the current follower faction. So that means when he's your follower and Delphine's at Riverwood Sleeping Giant, and she'll run this off. And down here, what I did was, in order to get Delphine to fill my reference correctly and proper, I forced her into the reference with a script. So I went and made I typed scene in here with some semicolons and scene, hit compile, it makes a script, and then you go in here, you right click, edit properties, you click add property, and you can pick from the list. So it'll be scene, you put it in there, you set up your scene, right? Then you have to do another property, reference alias, for Delphine, which will find her reference in that quest. Okay? This is another way to force that reference into being this speaker. So what you did was, the reference I put in here for Delphine, it's going to force that reference to the speaker of this line. And then this, at the end of this line, I put the property for the scene, and I set it to start. So that's what jumps off the scene, okay? Under these conditions. So I could make this work between a certain time of day, whatever. Okay, so that pops off. This and my follower situation starts the whole thing. So when I go and ask him to follow me, it is going to set the stage for that quest to 0, saying for it to start. I hope that's clear. It should be, because it makes a lot of sense. What's up, Chardero? Makes a lot of sense on my side now that I see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up another scene, right? I want to find my player first off, because I know Embry's in the same cell. Okay, and this is who we're going to use. We're going to use Embry, the drunk. It doesn't matter where he is, I just wanted to show you who we're going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and set up another alias. And this is fresh. So we're going to go Embry. And we're going to choose a unique actor. It's going to be Embry. Same thing here with the checks, allow reserve. It's going to store the text. All them checks, pretty much good. Okay, we have our reference. Now, I want to set up an idle dialogue for him, and we're going to do something a little different. He's not going to say a line there. He'll just, it'll be a blank line, but it'll still fire. You can make it voiced, you don't have to, it doesn't matter. But I just want to make sure that's going to give me the voice that I need. And I don't even need a voice file for that, so that's a good buy, because this is going to be the idle. It sets this off. I'll set it to 2 hours just for shits and giggles. We don't have our scene created yet, so we can't do our properties. We have the reference, so we could do that, but I'll wait and I'll do it all at once. I want to go out here and save. Alright, so that's all set. So we're going to go over here to Delphine Hello Scene, and then we're going to create new. And this is going to be Embry Hello Scene. Excuse me. So the first one we want to speak in the scene, okay, has to be the top NPC. Okay. Since he's going to fire it off with the miscellaneous dialogue, I want my follower to approach Embry to say hello. So I am going to put new actor, and I'm going to put fresh, and then I'm going to put actor, and I'm going to put Embry. Okay, so fresh will talk first, then Embry. Add phase at end. Now we have phase with our two actors, and I'm going to add a package to fresh, which will be jfresh walk to Embry, and it'll hello whatever, right? It'll be a travel package. He's going to travel to Embry, so we're going to set the reference alias to Embry, and I'll put 250 for the radius is fine. Now you can mess with conditions and idles and stuff. You don't really have to. It's just a little more detailed. This is basic, so that's that. Okay, so now we got a package there. I'm also going to add a package for Embry. Okay, so this one's going to be jfresh Embry walk to jfresh hello, and he's going to walk to the reference fresh. Same radius. Okay, done. Now the first one we want to talk is fresh, so we're going to go in here. He's going to be, should he be disgusted with Embry? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna put a little disgust on it. Head track Embry face target. He's gonna face Embry when he's saying this, and he's gonna say, "You filthy drunk. Can't you find, oops, you find anything better to do?" Okay. And I'm going to put the same thing here, disgust. We're going to go to 70. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, in order to get this to work for fresh, I have to put his ID here. Right, which will make it so I can get just his voice files here. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open up Audacity. Open Audacity. And then I think I'm going to jump you guys over to the middle screen. There we are in Audacity. Okay. Like monitoring, I'm going to go ahead and record this line. You filthy drunk. Can't you find anything better to do?
You filthy drunk. Can't you find anything better to do?
Okay, so that's pretty good. I can take that. So in Audacity, I select a line.
Filthy drunk. Can't you find anything better to do?
So it cuts that. And the effects, I use compressor. And with these settings, I saved it as a preset, and then I hit effect and I hit normalize with these settings, and that makes my audio
You filthy drunk.
just
Can't
a
you
bit
find
louder.
Anything better to do?
Just a bit louder, right? And now with this portion selected, I'm going to export selected audio, and I'm going to go here. I want to make a new folder, and I want to put Embry. And I want to put you filthy drunk. Can't you find anything better to do? Right? So we've saved that. I'm going to go open that. Wrong one. It's here. There's our line.
You filthy drunk.
Okay. And now I want to open my folder where I'm building the mod. I use MO2, so it's in my overwrites. I'm going to open up sound, voice, my follower folder, and jfresh's voice. Now I got a lot of files in here, so bear with me. The way I do it is, let's show you CK. In the CK, you can see there's no files for this line yet. So with MO2, what I do is I click this, I save it, and let me pop you back. It saves the file right here, lip and wave, okay? I select them both and I delete them. I drag mine over, and then back in CK, I grab this name for the file, and back in my folders, I rename said file. Oops, shit, I just copied it again, so hold on. Okay, so you're renaming it to be that file. Now in CK, you just simply click in here. It still says the lip file is there, but it's obviously not, and I can show you. See, now it's the wave file's there, we put it there. Lip file's not. So you want to highlight this. If you don't have this highlighted, this won't generate. Highlight this, click from wave, generate lip file. And what that does is, that gives you your lip file for your generated wave. Okay? That I just recorded
You filthy drunk.
in Audacity. Alright, so just so you see what I'm doing with these voice lines, I'm not going to keep switching back to my folders. I'm just going to go ahead and pop these through. I do it with, you'll see. Okay. So now that line should be all set. We open it back up, we got a lip file. Everything's all set here. Bingo. Done. First line of our scene is done. Okay. We actually wanted to put that in the second phase. We didn't want that in the first phase. We wanted to start walking first and then say the action. Okay, so add phase at end. Now we're going to do some xVASynth dialogue for Embry. He's going to face J Fresh. And he's going to say, what do you know about drinking? Okay, that's what he's going to say. I'm going to open xVASynth on my other screen, put you back over there for a moment, and I'll show you how this works. Now, this program is fucking awesome. Okay, I got the male drunk files. I'm going to load his model, and I'm going to go put them files in. I'm going to generate that voice.
What do you know about drinking?
Bam. Now you can change your models. Wave glow sounds pretty good, I find. Some things are different. Just gotta play with it a little.
What do you know about drinking?
Bang, right? So we keep the sample. We're gonna keep that sample, and I'm gonna open that folder. Okay. Now I've got that folder here from xVASynth, and I have that line right there, right? So that's how I do it with xVASynth. Same thing. I record it, it drops into a folder, and I go ahead, transfer, rename it, generate the lip. Same basic thing that I did with Audacity. So back to CK. So we have to hit this. We have to put his ID in here. So it'll let me choose his voice. Right? So now it's going to make a male drunk voice type folder in my follower folder, okay? It doesn't drop into a SKYRIM folder or anything. Everything you make for your mod should be in your folder unless you screwed up somewhere, okay? So I'm going to hit save on that. I'm going to check my folders. It made a new folder. I'm going to delete what they put mine there, grab the name, rename it, and then I am going to regenerate my lip file, and that line is done. Okay, we're going to add another phase at the end. We're going to add some dialogue for J Fresh this time. He is going to face Embry. And he's going to say, I know I'll drink you into oblivion, right? Oh, there's my cap locks. Appreciate that. And I'm gonna go back over to Audacity. I still have it open, and I'm just gonna record that line. I know I'll drink you into oblivion.
I know I'll drink you into oblivion.
Okay. And select it.
I'll drink you into oblivion.
I'm just gonna fix this line real quick. Compressor. And normalize. Play it.
I know I'll drink you into oblivion.
Okay, and I'm gonna export that. Let me get rid of this person. And let me get rid of that person. Okay, back to my shit. I know. Alright, I saved that file. I just want to grab it. Alright, so I gotta put my ID here. Come on. Go back here. Let me do this. Get the voice. That is 2EC1. I got that one here. Copy that over. Rename this. And generate my new lip file. And that'll be it. That's it for that line. We're gonna add a new phase at the end, and we're gonna add some dialogue for Embry. And this time, he's gonna head track the player, Embry, right? And he's gonna be pretty pissed off, and he's gonna say, "Get this fucking guy out of here." Okay. I don't know if you agree with me on that one, but that's what we're putting, boys. And I popped that over in.
Get this fucking guy out of here.
Boom. Perfect. Okay. So now I will go here. I have to put his ID. We're gonna go Embry. Okay. And that should let me generate his voice file. Back to my folders. And that is 2EE-1. I'm gonna put that over there. Rename and generate my lip file. I'm gonna have him hang around for a minute. Walk to pack there. I'm gonna add another phase to the end. One more line of dialogue for JFresh. He's gonna be happy, and he's gonna say, he's gonna look at the player. He's gonna say, "I love messing with that guy." Okay. I'm gonna put the ID here. I don't know who all is watching, but I appreciate whoever's here checking me out doing this, because I fucked up yesterday, so it's a win. Open up Audacity. I'm gonna get rid of that other line. I love messing with that guy.
I love messing with that guy.
Okay.
I love messing with that guy.
mess with this real quick. I'm going to compress it and normalize it.
I love messing with that guy.
I'm going to export that. Yeah, I'll bring them out. Alright, so I'm going to save that file. Go on my folder. What is that? 1262FO-1. And I got the line there. Okay, generate my new lib file. And this is going to be the goodbye, right? Gonna head track the player. Oh, I wanted to set emotion. I'm gonna do happy for this. At 75, right? Okay, so let me see if I fixed this. Whoops. I just want to make sure I got the emotions right. Anger 65 and anger 65. I want everything to match up so it's legit. And we can even do defensive hands for that line there. Be pretty cool. The emotion, there's no emotion. I'll put a little happy on him here. Happy at 60, right? Why not? He's happy that he can drink him into oblivion. We get some anger 70 here. I want to tighten that up. Everything looks good so far. Disgust 70. Yep, okay. Okay. Now he's going to look at me here. He's going to look at me here and say, get this fucking guy out of here. And then Fresh is going to look at me and say, I love messing with that guy, right? But we still, so my scenes are going to start no matter what. These will fire. Because that's the way it's set up. But if you remember, we have to go to the miscellaneous dialogue for Embry, right? So this will only fire under certain conditions. And I'll show you how I did with her again. I'm just actually going to copy all these, because it's pretty much the same situation. They're in the same place. I'm going to paste those conditions, but I'm going to get rid of that one. So I have to be in the Sleeping Giant Inn. That really shouldn't matter. What I'll do is I'll change that to distance. The target will be, this will be quest alias. We're going to put the quest alias on. It's going to run on Embry. Well, Embry's a subject, so we're going to get the distance between the player and Embry when JFresh is a follower, if you get what I'm saying, okay? So if the distance between the subject, Embry, and player reference is less than 1024 and alias JFresh is in Carnival faction, then this'll fire off. What's up, Dark? Some juicy shit here, bro. Some juicy shit. I appreciate you. So over here again, we want to force a reference into here just for backfire privileges, I guess you could say, to help out. Anytime you add a script, you have to close out the dialogue and you have to open it back up in order to add your properties. Now we want to add our scene that's going to run, and that was, I forget what the fuck I named it, but it's Embry scene hello, I believe. If that was right, that'll fill itself. No, it wasn't, so fuck yourself. Embry hello scene. Okay, so if I wanted to correct that, I could go here, edit my source. I can just fix this right here. Embry hello scene. Okay, file save, it'd be fine. And now when I go back in to set my properties, we've got the correct notion. Okay. I want the Embry reference. Oh, that's sweet, Dark. Nice. Check this shit out. I'm saying. Second property we want is our reference alias to Embry, right? Because that's who's popping the dialogue that's gonna start the scene. And if we named it as we did our reference alias, it'll fill itself. You want the reference alias from the quest that you're working on. Sometimes this doesn't fill right, so you have to click it, fill it, blah blah blah. Everything seems to fill right. Okay, so now that we have our properties, we're going to go over here and we're going to type Embry dot force ref 2, and we're going to force the reference into the speaker of this piece of dialogue. So what that line does is takes the Embry reference and forces that reference into the speaker of this dialogue. Okay, and that'll compile just fine. These goddamn bots are fucking hardcore, dude. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna make you a mod, Dark, so you can help out. So back over here in the CK, now we want to start our fucking scene. So the name of our scene was Embry hello scene. Well, that was the name of the property we made, right? It could have been my scene, your scene, scene 1, it doesn't matter. Whatever that property is, this property is set to that scene. So you type the property dot start, open and close brackets. And it's as simple as that. Now, under these conditions, this line of dialogue for idle will pop for Embry's reference. Okay? And I'm going to have a reset every 2 hours. It's fine. So, there we have it. Now, priority means a difference. You set your priority high, which will make these idols go off over other idols in the game, more or less. I guess that's how you could say it. So yeah, we should be all set there. That scene should pop off. But you know what? I am going to... They're in the same place. So I don't want one... This one pops off every 24 hours. So the way you set the scenes, time-wise, runs off of the miscellaneous dialogue. So this miscellaneous dialogue only runs every 24 hours. So every 24 hours, that scene will initiate, right? Embry's I got set to 2 hours. So I'm going to hit that. I'm going to save. And we're going to go in game, test this the fuck out. I'm going to leave my CK open real quick. Unlock MO2. And I'll see you boys in game. Shocking mods, subscribe, boys. Go get that shit. Figured on me. Alright, let's go inside. See what happens. Oh, hold on. I gotta kill this guy, or he's gonna ruin this.
You'll take care of it?
Don't I always?
I don't suppose.
Okay, so Fresh has to be my follower for these to pop. Dark, I made his head. I took his head in. It's a model of my head, actually, that I got from Face to Skyrim. And I made it work. Made it work. Let's go stand over to Embry and see what happens. Oh.
Hello, Delphine.
Okay, so
Amazing as always.
that's the scene between them.
Thank you for that.
Would you like to?
Not again. See you later, Jay.
You're a loss.
Never wait.
What crawled up her ass?
There's that one.
Are we gonna stand here all day?
Okay, Embry, come on, let's pop this.
Here for work? Get an axe and bring me all the wood you can chop.
So, is it true?
Getting pretty bored just hanging around.
It ain't gonna pop, is it?
Got business here in River.
What do you want?
Alright.
Can't you find anything better to
Oh, there it is.
What do you know about drinking?
There we go.
Drink you into oblivion.
Get this fucking guy out of here.
I love it. That was perfect. Cool. That was excellent. So that worked. So yeah, you get to see a little bit more detail about scene building. You know, if there's sometimes timing issues and shit like that, what I probably should have did was I should, because they're in the same cell, you know, and they're gonna like fuck with each other, you know, unless the timing's different or conditions are different. So I can make it so he only says that to Embry in the morning. You know, like in the morning he says, "Morning, you fucking drunk," or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how that works, I guess. I appreciate whoever came through for this quickie stream. Not too shabby. Got about 19 bots, four real people. Let's see, 3 people watching, 3 likes. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to add to it, you could add to them. You can put timers. You can put timers on here. You know, to time in between phases. You can just put a timer here to wait, you know, 4 seconds. Put a little idle in there for an action. Make him do something cool while he's waiting, like you filthy drunk, and then he goes to a table and gets like a piece of bread. And I don't know, you know, whatever. Another thing with scenes is you can add scripts, so you can have certain shit begin on the beginning of a scene. So like at the beginning of a scene, you could add a note to your inventory, or you could do multiple things through script. I'm not going to explain it, but there's too many things you can do. I am going to end this stream where I'm at. Fortunately, I got a few viewers. I appreciate that. But I want to get into a little bit of something else now. I'm going to run run off some more dialogue. I got a bunch of idle dialogue that I'm recording for my follower. Like I got this one for that bard, that annoying fucking bard. So I'm trying to set it up to where if he's my follower, if either one of those fucking shitty songs are playing in the inns, I basically want him to stop. So what I did was, if the scene's playing and we're in there, this is an idle dialogue though, so I don't think it's gonna work. It might. It might. I haven't seen it work yet. That's why I just disabled his ass. But again, I just set a couple properties in my script for the scenes, and then I put stop, open, close parentheses, stops right now the red. Basically, should work. Doesn't work yet. I'll figure it out. All these lines work. Are we gonna stand here all day? We'll only run during the day. Getting bored just hanging around. Nice place we've got here when they're inside somewhere. So there's multiple things you can do. It's just all about the firing order. Everything has to fire from something. So if you don't have something starting it, then it will not start. Simple as that. And that was my problem. I never had anything starting it. So I could have had it set to start game enabled, but I didn't want to do that. You can simply just start game enable it, and then you have to go into xEdit and create an SEQ file for your mod. So you don't, if you want to stay away from the SEQ files, which there's so many start game enabled things, mods and such, it'll kind of screw with your system. So once again, thanks guys, appreciate you. This is for my reference and yours. Anybody that uses this video, just be sure to slap the thumb, leave a comment if you have any problems or you can't figure something out. Try to help you out the best I can.